Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
There's something rotten and delicious in David Chang's kitchen.
It's hard to cook with something that you would normally throw away. Turning that into something that is delicious, that's cooking.
Coming up, stinky, delicious kimchi, XO sauce,
Sometimes smelly shoes taste delicious.
bocaron,
It's a play on a lot of different flavors from several countries.
rotten bananas,
It's almost like they've been braised and caramelized.
and a visit to a katsuobushi factory.
Oishi.
Enter the mind of a chef.
I just want to smell good.
In my case, I do a whole chicken soup.
Old, rotten, moldy, fermented. These are words that on the surface do not sound very appetizing, but in many cases, they are critical in making something delicious.
Funky.
For Chang, it's a no-brainer. He knows that some ingredients are in one way or another rotten.
Fish sauce is the ultimate rotten food. It smells intensely bad. And you can make it with basically any type of fish, salt it, put water on it in vats, and that's all it is. If it breaks in your apartment, you're totally screwed. Just because it doesn't smell good doesn't mean it doesn't taste amazing.
You like Japanese food? Then chances are you've eaten rotten fish. Deliberately rotted fish in the form of katsuobushi.
I had seen katsuobushi plants before, but I wanted to see another one, and one that was producing what people considered to be very good katsuobushi. It's very difficult to get high-quality katsuobushi in America. To properly understand katsuobushi, I went 2 hours south of Tokyo to Shinmarasu, which makes some of the best katsuobushi in Japan, and met with the manager there who gave us the grand tour. In Japan, extra large there is like American medium. I wear like extra large America. So while it was an educational experience, I felt I was getting hazed.
デイビッドさん、うちの会社に来てくれてありがとうございます。ここでは焼津の港から陸揚げされた魚を解凍するところです。コチコチ、まだコチコチのカツオですけど。So even though the fish has been frozen, it's still ridiculously fresh. The freezing process is part of making the katsuobushi. そのためにカツオを切るにはこの3本の包丁を使います。で、こちらは頭剥がしといいまして、カツオの頭を落とすためのものです。で、こちらが相立ち包丁といいまして、カツオを三枚におろすための包丁。で、こちらがおろし包丁といいまして、カツオをさらに四つ割りにするための包丁です。
Here's a guy who has done this a million times. For me, whenever I watch someone that butchers anything and it's so clean and so fast, it's like, it's just watching art. It's watching somebody that has mastered their craft.
ここではですね、頭と内臓を取り除いたカツオを今度ボイルします。ここではカツオの水骨といいまして、カツオの皮でここのカツオの骨、これを全部手作業で取り除く作業です。身が折れてしまったりするのでダメなんですね。Lot of love. Cooking with love. そうです。もう愛情を込めてやらないとダメです。 これはコスクリと言いまして、これはなぜ埋めるかというと、これから梅缶スモークするときにこの実割れの中に煙が入らないために。
Besides what's so special about the katsuobushi here and these amazing white jackets is the wood. It smells so much like the really good katsuobushi. They use a specific type of wood in Japanese called nara.
そうです。日本でいう広葉樹なので、奈良とかクヌギとかブナですね。その通りです。奈良。デビッドさん本当によくご存知で。ここではですね、カツオをスモークする、梅缶庫と呼ばれるスモークハウスです。この日の煙と熱で鰹節をどんどん乾燥していくこの梅缶庫スモークハウスになります。
I just want to smell good. Backdrop.
Oh, すげえな。なんか入ってるもんな。
おー、デビッドさん。
Oh, wow.
When done correctly, katsuobushi tastes like umami. It tastes extraordinarily delicious.
美味しい。
おいしい。
So it doesn't taste like rotten fish. After smoking, they inject it with mold and they let it just basically sit upwards of a year. And it begins its petrification process.
This was fish, now it's like complete amber. That's crazy.
We learned so much about katsuobushi and how they make it there that I left thinking I'd never want to think about katsuobushi ever again.
京都は、鰹節。
はい。
Every sort of chef de cuisine has their own version of XO sauce. XO sauce was, I think, created maybe 30, 40 years ago in Hong Kong. It smells like a funky old shoe, but it's so delicious. It's one of those sauces that is great on everything. The idea is just sort of getting this aromatic thing that has a lot of funk to it. We're gonna have our pan sort of ripping hot. Generous amount of oil. A lot of garlic. So we've added a cup of ginger, a cup of garlic, tangerine rinds, Chinese sausage, the pint of shredded country ham. And again, you don't have to add salt to this because of the sausage and the country ham. Dried scallops. The great thing about dried seafood is you don't have to use a lot of it to get a lot of flavor. So it's another great reason for using dried seafood. A little goes a long way. And now we're gonna add the dried shrimp. So you're gonna continue to cook that down over a low heat. And it smells like a gym locker in there now. All the garlic and the ginger has been caramelized, and so is all the protein from the shellfish. I would say that the majority of our dishes, the good dishes, at least the ones that I love the most, come from scraps and the most humble of beginnings. Anybody can cook with a filet mignon. Anybody can cook a piece of lobster. It's hard to cook with something that you would normally throw away. Turning that into something that is not only just edible, but delicious, that's cooking. We've been cooking this for about 30 minutes, constantly stirring it, because as you can see, the bottom will get stuck and burned. Sometimes smelly shoes taste delicious.
In a world full of cooking demos, this one from the archives stands out. What could be more delicious than putting spicy cabbage in a jar and letting it ferment for months? Not much.
안녕하세요. 오늘은 우리나라 대한민국의 제일 최고, 제일 멋진, 제일 맛있는 음식을 같이 만들어 봅시다. 김치 만들 때는 꼭 냄새난 것은 좀 몇 개 있어야 돼요. 처음은 멸치젓. 냄새는 되게 센데 맛은 진짜 맛있죠? 오, 냄새나. 그 다음에 마지막으로는 제가 좋아하는 설탕보다 더 맛있고 좀 재밌는 게 있어요. 파인애플. 김치파리. 같이 만들어 봅시다. 처음서부터 몇 개를 이렇게 골라가지고 이렇게 센 갈로 네모난 대로 이렇게 샥! 한 이만큼으로 자르고 집어넣고 자르고 예쁘게 김치 만들 때는 꼭 행복한 생각, 예쁜 생각을 해야 돼요. 딴! 이제 배추를 몇 개 이렇게 자른 다음에 소금을 손으로 이렇게 많이 이렇게 좀 뿌리세요. 아, 재밌다. 다 됐다. 2시간 동안 이렇게 가만히 있다가 다시 봅시다. 이제 매운 파트를 시작합시다. 양파를 자를 때 울지 마세요. 우리 달콤한 파인애플을 다 잘라서 이런 블렌더를 집어넣어가지고 켜보세요. 다 모여서 맛있는 김치가 되는 거예요. 이제 거의 다 됐어요. 향기가 너무나 좋아요. 벌써 김치가 진짜 맛있는 김치가 된 거예요. 다 됐다. 처음은 우리 멸치젓. 그 다음에 다 집어넣고 이렇게. 그 다음에는 우리 진짜 짜고 맛있는 새우젓. 다음은 우리 찹쌀가루. 마지막으로 제일 중요한 우리 특별하게 맵고 우리 한국에 제일 좋아하는 이게 열심히 섞으세요. 오, 맛있겠다. 빨갛고 맵고 달콤달콤하고 짜고 맛있다. 이것도 이제 매운 것도 다 끝났으니까 조금만 더 있다가 다시 봅시다. 이제 마지막으로는 이 매운 소스랑 우리 배추를 함께 모여서 행복한 식구 김치를 만들 겁니다. 이거는 꼭 손으로 해야 돼요. 깨끗한 손으로. 매운 것을 차갑고 너무너무 기분이 좋아요. 너무나 맛있겠죠? 냄새도 향기가 너무나 좋아요. 침이 지금 뚝뚝 나오려고 그래요. 지금 너무 맛있는 냄새가 나가지고. 김치를 조금씩 물을 조금만 더 넣고 짜잔! 이제 김치가 다 끝났어요. 너무나 맛있을 거예요.
Fish sauce, that ubiquitous ingredient found in dishes around the world. You guessed it, rotten.
We wanted to do a dish that involved fish sauce. It's an extraordinarily delicious thing. Romans had a version of it called garum. Japanese have a version of it, and it's preserved in a constant rotten state. I like versions that literally are just anchovy, salt, sugar. That's it. It looks like tea, but it doesn't smell like tea. We wanted to do a dish that was sort of a version of bagna cauda, the Italian dip with oil and anchovies with vegetables. First, let's make the sauce. So in here, I have some chili pepper, some Thai bird chili, some garlic. We're gonna add walnuts. And we're gonna add maybe like half a cup of fish sauce. I'm gonna add some sugar to this, a couple tablespoons, a little water to cook it through. Somehow it's gonna represent Italian food, Southeast Asian food. So this is a baby artichoke. Very easy to clean. Basically, you just want to peel off all the crap around the ends and put it in water so it doesn't oxidize, because they oxidize very fast. So instead of doing a braised or a roasted artichoke, we're gonna deep fry them. It's about 325. There's so much fat with the walnuts and the fried artichokes. Why don't we add a pickled anchovy? And that's gonna cut through the fat. The boquerones from Spain. They're pickled, highly acidic and delicious. So we have some breakfast radishes. Radishes and anchovies go really well together, I feel. Just for color on the plate, we have some scallions. We just cut them about 1.5 inches in terms of width, and they're gonna look like blades of grass, very thinly sliced. And if you throw them in ice water, they're gonna just curl up. So that's our dish of bagna cauda. Instead of using anchovies, we used fish sauce, pureed with walnuts. Very simple dish, a play on a lot of different flavors from several countries.
Chef Christina Tosi is part owner and the creative force behind the Momofuku Milk Bar restaurants. Anything sweet in Chang's world is usually hatched in the mind of Chef Tosi.
We're gonna make a banana cream pie, which for me is like the real celebration of a banana. Everyone really wants that really rich, true banana flavor, but no one really wants to know how you get it. But this is how you really get it. It looks kind of gross, but it tastes really good. This is bananas in their several stages of life. Bananas at this stage are really bitter and very starchy. This banana I would also not touch. They're a little less starchy and a little more sweet, but they're still of mostly no use to us. This is the kind of banana that I like to eat. I like a little bit of starch to it and a little firmness, and it's just a little sweet. It's not too sweet. If I want something sweet, I'm gonna eat a cookie, not a banana. Bananas at this stage are gonna play a role in our banana cream pie. They're sweet, they still have a firmness to them, but this is where you start to taste a banana. And this is where bananas, in my opinion, really, really taste like bananas. If you stick a banana that's like this in your freezer, this is what it'll look like after 2 or 3 days, which is what we need to make our banana cream. We'll peel them. A smart man once told me that the easiest way to peel a banana is from the bottom. It's almost like they've been like braised and caramelized, but they're really just aging in their own skin. They go in a blender. Egg yolk, sugar, salt, cornstarch, milk, and a little bit of heavy cream. This is not how most people make banana cream. I blend them all together really quickly. They think I'm crazy until they do it. I'm telling you. So you just throw it in a pan on the stovetop. As it heats, that cornstarch that we put in is going to start thickening it. We'll let it continue to go. In the meantime, we're gonna bloom gelatin. We use sheet gelatin in our kitchen, but powdered gelatin also works at home. We just bloom it in cold water until it is soft. Our banana cream is nice and thick. It's come up to a boil and you can really tell the difference in the consistency of it. We're gonna pour it back into the blender. We're also going to add the gelatin that we just bloomed. It's nice and soft. And put some yellow food coloring in. A really good banana cream pie isn't yellow just because. It's yellow because somebody put food coloring in it. So, do a few drops at a time. That was more than a few, but got a really yellow mess. Next step, fridge to cool. For me, the perfect balance to a banana cream pie is a crust that can really hold up to the sweetness of banana and banana cream, which means chocolate crust. The chocolate crumb is very easy to make. It's flour, some cornstarch, some sugar, and some salt. The secret to chocolate crumbs is the cocoa powder. We use a Valrhona cocoa powder. So just take the dry ingredients, toss them around a little bit, and we add a little bit of melted butter. Toss it around until we get some clusters, some chocolate clusters. These get spread out on a baking pan, just baking them in the oven until they dry out. And then we throw them into our food processor. We put just a little bit of room temperature or melted butter in there. You're just gonna grind your chocolate crust down to a sandy, pliable texture, and then we push it into a crust. Maybe that should be your test. When your banana's this color, it's ready to make pie. This is whipped cream and the banana, the yellow banana mixture mixed together. I'd say you pour a quarter of it into your pie crust. In my opinion, the best part of a banana cream pie is like the hidden bananas in the center. And for that, we're gonna use not the eating banana, but the just getting ripe banana. So I just make an incision, use the peel as like your cutting board, and then I like to cut them in half. Once I cut them widthwise, I like to cut them in half, just so you can get a little banana in every bite. That's kind of like, it's like the perfect bite theory. Then you're just gonna layer the rest of your banana cream on top. I drown them, force them back in. You are gonna wanna put this pie back in the fridge. It's also pretty good semi-frozen. If this were a fable, the moral of the story is, don't cry over rotten bananas. They're not rotten, actually. They're the best part of the banana. Look, he's like a snail. He's left a trail of banana for us.
Rotten stuff is good. We all like rot, whether we know it or not. The whole process of ripening, of intensifying flavors, is inexorably entwined with the dark forces of bacteria, mold cultures, putrefaction, and rot. Rot, for lack of a better word, is everything.